Hey there, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Erik Kostrzewa here with Beyond the Forecast. We will bring you the most important thing every Thursday when it comes to the weather. This week, we're going to be tracking what is to come over the next 7 days. So from Friday to about next Thursday, Friday, we're going to show you why it's going to be stormier and hotter. We'll see some of the hottest temperatures of the season, of the year so far as we go into the weekend early next week, and what that means for our severe weather chances. So we are going to break it all down for you. I'll show you the 7-day first and foremost. That's going to give you an idea of just how hot and humid it will be as we look across the next several days. Tomorrow, going to be kind of right around where we were today, low to mid 70s. We will see cooler temperatures as we get towards the lakeshore. Then we jump into the 80s for the weekend early next week with a cool down. Now, this is going to get us closer to normal, at least back towards normal, which is at 69 this time of the year. That'll be Wednesday into Thursday. But before then, the 4-day stretch of Saturday to Tuesday going to be in the low to mid 80s. So that may lead you to, especially this weekend, maybe getting on the boat for the first time. We're just getting towards the lakeshore, something like that, to keep yourself cool. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start out. I'm going to take the 7-day down, and I'm going to show you what the pattern looks like right now. So we've got a couple areas of interest across the lower 48. You see this big spin here out towards the New England, mid-Atlantic area, just off the coast of Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, things like that. They are seeing the cooler, rainier conditions because of that low that is spinning offshore. And we have our own low to deal with that is out here into the Great Lakes, trailing cold front all the way down through portions of the Central Plains, and then another system that's developing out into Texas. That's where some severe weather is happening. But our low with the cold front will bring us some showers and storms into tomorrow. So I want to show you how things are going to look. This is a forecast model, the HER model, one of our short-term models that gives us an idea of what's going to happen over the next 36, 48 hours. It gives us a pretty good look as to what the radar could look like. Now, this is just an estimation, doesn't mean it's necessarily going to look like this, but it gives us a better idea of when some showers and storms could be at their highest, at least the highest chance of those happening. So as we go along in time, we're getting towards about, this is midnight here on your screen right now. A couple showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, very isolated stuff, 20 to 30% chance at that point in time. And then we get into more of a 50 to 60% chance as we get towards about 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. here across mid-Michigan. So right during the morning commute, we have those showers and storms that are developing. Could be some heavier downpours, some thunder and lightning. As we get into the afternoon, though, that first area will clear by about noon. And then once we get in towards the evening, this is 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, you see additional isolated showers and storms that could develop here in the lower 48. And that's what we'll be watching for. Maybe some small hail, gusty winds, definitely a lot of rain, and some frequent lightning as well. That'll be all gone as we go into our Saturday. Saturday is looking dry, and as we showed you, hot. We will see developing clouds later on in the day. But now I want to give you the longer range picture. So we're going to go to the European model. We're going to zoom back out to the national view, and I'm going to go into the atmosphere. So we're going to go at 500 millibars. This is a level in the atmosphere that we look at for specific waves of energy well up into the atmosphere, some areas of lifting, rising motion, and that's all associated with these troughs. You can see it's kind of a U-shaped area in the upper levels. So we go from Canada all the way down here into the Central Plains. You can see that overall U shape, and that's a trough of low pressure in the atmosphere. That's where we get some of the rising motion, and that allows for a surface low to develop right out ahead of it, which we see here into the Great Lakes, kind of right around the Upper Peninsula is where we would expect that low to be, and that's where it is currently right now. That's going to swing on through, give us that chance of some showers and storms tomorrow, but it is going to be in a weakening fashion. We aren't going to have a ton of atmospheric conditions that could lead to any severe weather, but it is going to lead to that higher chance of showers and storms. And then we go back into more of a ridge. You can see the backwards U, or the upside down U, that's happening right here into the Midwest. This is going to give us those dry and hotter conditions. And that's just because, and I'll go into this wave pattern, as we get into the patterns, the waves in the atmosphere, once we get into these troughs, that's where we could start to see some of those more active settings. And then once we get into more of that high pressure or waves of high pressure, the ridge of high pressure, that gives us the air to sink, allows for high pressure to develop at the surface, and that downward motion starts to warm up the air in the lower atmosphere where we are. And that's what's going to give us some of those warmer conditions. That thing that I just showed you that had a lot of colors, I'll show you at the end, and that would kind of give us an idea of when some severe weather could happen. But overall, this ridge is going to be with us as we go into the weekend. You can see a big storm that's happening up here into Canada. That's going to lead to more of a threat of showers and storms off to our north. We still have this ridge, though. We have this ridge that is extending back into the southern plains all the way up into the New England area, portions of the Northeast. And this is going to keep us dry and warm. We're not going to see that big trough or big low that's up here into the atmosphere, at least impinging on that trough. You can even see into Monday, we're still under that ridge of high pressure, which is going to give us those hotter and drier conditions. It's not until we step into our Monday and Tuesday that ridge starts to break down a little bit. We see a weak little wave with the bigger trough still back here into the portions of the upper Northwest and upper Midwest. And we have that little wave. You can see this little short wave, a little bit of a U that's crossing here. That could lead to some showers and storms as we go into our Monday night and Tuesday, as you see that rolling into the Great Lakes. And that could bring us our first chance of strong to severe storms. And then we get into that more significant trough that is going to be here through the Midwest as we get towards Tuesday night into Wednesday. And that's what's going to lead to that better chance of showers and storms and the cooler setting that's going to be with us as we go into our Wednesday and Thursday. Cooler air precedes this low. So we have an upper level low and the trough. It's going to bring in some cooler temperatures, but also lead to the better chance of some severe weather that we could have happen as well. And that's where we get into this. So we go into the supercell composite parameter. So what this is the CFS, which is a longer range model. It gives us an idea of how much of the supercell composites, so supercells, those most significant thunderstorms that most definitely lead to severe weather within them, whether that's hail, winds, tornadoes. Once we get into some of these greens, yellows, oranges, and reds, that's a higher threat that we're going to see some of those supercells potentially developing. You can see that gets into the Ohio Valley, the mid-Mississippi Valley, the Central Plains, definitely down here towards the Gulf of Mexico, where it is going to remain pretty active over the next several days. But you can also see here in the state of Michigan, we get into the blues and the greens, which gives us maybe some higher confidence that some strong storms could happen here. Whether or not they will be significant, we will see if all the ingredients line up, which would not only be the wind shear. We always talk about 4 ingredients that we need for severe weather. We need something for that lifting motion. We need the stronger wind shear, which is the changing of the winds with height, getting stronger, kind of seeing that spinning or that rotating motion in the atmosphere with those winds and their direction. And then we also need heat and humidity, which would allow for those stronger storms to develop, those stronger updrafts, and we could potentially see some more significant severe weather with that. Now, I'm going to show you the overall shear, which is those changing of the winds with height, allows for the storms to maybe take on some of those more strong to severe characteristics, get a little bit more organized. Once you start to see the purples and the pinks, that's the higher wind shear that we have, and that's going to potentially lead to some of those strong to severe storms. Not necessarily over the next several days, but you can see as we step into our Tuesday and Wednesday timeframe, we start to get into that higher opportunity at strong to severe storms right here into the Great Lakes, 40 to 50 mile per hour or 40 to 50 knot wind shear from the surface to about 500 millibars. That would lead to a better organization of those storms as we especially get into our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe. Higher wind shear going to be leading or at least entering the Great Lakes as we get some of the higher heat humidity in here as well. So we could potentially see some strong to severe storms at that point in time. I'll show you kind of what the European model gives us with the precipitation type, with what the radar could look like out here as we get into next week. Because again, tomorrow we'll have that small chance of some showers and storms. That wave passes through. We have dry conditions Saturday into our Sunday. We also have another cold front that will try and pop up an isolated shower or storm as we get into our Sunday. But a lot of that energy is going to be up here into Canada, where they can maybe see the better chance of showers and storms. And then we get into our Monday looking like it will be relatively quiet for the first part of the day. Once we get towards Monday evening into Tuesday, you can see more of those showers and storms developing. Low pressure off to the north. We see that trough that we talked about, giving us that rising motion, some better chances of showers and storms developing right here through Illinois, Iowa, the Great Lakes. And that could lead to some stronger storms as we get into our Monday night and Tuesday. But then we have this low with the bigger trough that is coming on in. So a stronger low and associated cold front, warm front. You can see by Tuesday evening at about 8 o'clock, we have showers and storms on the west side of the state. Those will likely sweep on in as we go into our Wednesday morning. And then we're seeing drier conditions behind it, even some snow up here north of Lake Superior. Kind of interesting to see after it's been so hot and humid here. But that is definitely a possibility with that colder low and also some of that moisture that is up into Canada. So we're going to watch that very closely. I would say Monday, Tuesday into early Wednesday is the time frame we need to watch out for that chance of some strong to severe storms. Overall, we are watching this low, which is out here into the Great Lakes, into Michigan for the chances of some showers and storms tonight into Friday, but no severe weather is expected overall. I'll end things here with the 7-day forecast. Once again, leave that on your screen, and then we will wrap up our Facebook Live. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you guys kind of got a better idea of what is to come over the next 7 days. We will be hot this weekend into early next week, cooling down Wednesday into Thursday, and that's overall because of the ebbs and flows in the atmosphere. We get that ridge going into the weekend, then we get that trough, some shower, thunderstorm activity associated with that into our Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.